Hey Kaplan, welcome to the 8th episode of Kaplan Eats. We are here at the oldest established restaurant in all of Kaplan, possibly all of Vermilion Parish, if you consider staying in the same family. We are at Mickey's Drive-In. So let's go inside, take a look, talk to Clint, see what's going on. How in the world has he kept this business going for 50 plus years? Let's go in and see.
Hi, welcome to Mickey's.
One of the reasons for Mickey's success is that they use family recipes that are highly guarded and have been kept secret for all of these years. Here we're watching Clint Frith, the owner of Mickey's, add some shrimp to his famous shrimp, crab, and corned bisque. He'll let that simmer a while, then he's going to load it up with some fresh crab meat. This is going to be delicious. It was fun going behind the scenes, getting a first-hand view of how things happen when you place your order at Mickey's. The kitchen is small, but it is meticulously clean and very well organized to get the most out of every inch of space. After I got my behind-the-scenes tour of the kitchen, I got to sit down with Clint Frith, the owner of Mickey's, and find out more about this family business.
So Clint, I appreciate you inviting me over and talk to me about Mickey's. Tell me how Mickey's got started. I know this is the oldest established restaurant in all of Kaplan, probably in all of Vermilion Parish when you consider staying in the same family.
Yes.
So tell me about how we got started.
Well, we started off in 1968 in Forked Island at the intersection of 35 and 82, where we were raised. The restaurant started off. They had a famous dance hall, the Rockabye. We were right across the street from the Rockabye. It's a pretty famous place, you know. It was a legend in its day, you know. And back in the 60s, Forked Island was really busy.
Yeah.
They were building the shipyard. They had a shipyard there. You know, had a facility. They were building the bridge. The farmers were doing well, and they had a lot of famous musicians that actually played at the Rockabye on a pretty steady basis. And we were straight across the street, and Daddy would actually bounce at the Rockabye, but it was just a free flow between the Rockabye and us, just two parking lots with a road separating it. And it was the first restaurant there in Forked Island. And so, you know, it's been a long time ago, but it's good memories there.
Well,
you know,
1968, you were just a little boy.
I was 5 years old at the time we opened.
I was
Brent was
kid.
6, and Trent was just born just a little while, you know.
Yeah.
And
but you still have memories of?
I still remember it like it was yesterday. You know, I mean, we pretty much. Probably my favorite place. I wouldn't change it for the world, actually.
Yeah.
You know, growing up in Forked Island, and in that circumstance, the stuff you see, and you know, we were around a lot of people, and you know, people had fun back then and had a good time. But the only difference in now and today is we were crazy busy back then in the '60s, but your hours were different. You know, you didn't lose a dollar back then.
Yeah.
We stayed open till sometimes 3, 4 in the morning. The Rockabye, as long as they had people in the place eating, Mom and them stayed open, so it was really hard on Mom and Dad, you know.
Yeah, but it was. So your mom and dad, they worked the restaurant.
They worked the restaurant the whole time. Daddy was a school teacher. Mama worked the restaurant more than Daddy, because Daddy was at school, and then she stayed at the restaurant day and night, and it was, you know.
Well, she developed a lot of menu items for you and Brent.
Mama's the one who taught us to cook. You know, Mama was the cook in her family. Maybe it should have been called Millie's, but it was called Mickey's, you know.
Mickey gonna take credit for it.
But Mom was the cook.
We got that. Yeah, she did. She kept it going. That's usually the way it works. When was it that y'all decided to move then to Kaplan?
What happened was we moved originally where the original Van Sons was.
Okay.
After Van Sons, it was Pete's, and we bought it from Pete. We had a sporting goods in town, and then whenever Pete's came for sale, we bought their place, and then we stayed there for a few years, and then we were really busy, and it was kind of small for us, and so anyway, we were going to move to this side of town, and the funny part of the story is, back 30-some years ago, almost 40 years ago, whatever it was, everybody was like, no, y'all can't move where the location is now, because like it's too far out of town. Like nobody's going to travel that far to go eat, and you know, it's actually about 10 blocks away. You know, but it was just a conception back then that
I get that.
It's too far out of town. You know, and they've had quite a few restaurants that were here before. This was the original Friezo. Back in the 60s when we were in Forked Island, and but they've had, I don't know, probably at least 4 restaurants that had opened in this location and closed, and you know, the thought was that it was too far out of town. That's why it's not going to make it there. And
you know, sometimes if that's in somebody's mind, they're determined not to go.
Right.
So
you know,
you probably were a little anxious.
It was, and it turned out fine. I mean, people followed us, and the people of Kaplan have been really good to us, and you know, it just, when you think about that in today's world, where people pick up and go to Lafayette 2 or 3 times a day, and they were like, it's too far for people to drive, which is 10 blocks. You know, it take you about 30 seconds to get across town, you know.
What's a classic case of, if you do it and you do it right, they're going to come, and you do it right. When you walk in, I don't care who you are or where you're from, when you walk in, you get that feel of an old-fashioned restaurant. You know, old-fashioned drive-in. You know, I remember my first time coming to Mickey's. It was with probably in '97. I came with Jack Gupta and J.B. Sarver, and they told me they wanted to take me to a place in Kaplan that had the best chili dogs. And I ate 2 chili dogs and an order of onion rings, and I hadn't had onion rings like that. Y'all make your onion rings from scratch.
Everything homemade,
Everything's homemade, so and still yet today.
Still yet today.
And when I had that, I thought that was the best hot dogs that I've had. The chili, your chili is top notch. I mean,
well, thank you.
You won't share that recipe.
No.
And I don't blame you. But no, the chili dogs and onion rings were great. The guy sitting in the next table ordered a hamburger and French fries, and I'm talking to these 2 guys I'm with, and I'm looking at that hamburger, and I can tell just from looking. Next time I come, I'm getting a hamburger.
Try something different,
yeah. But your menu, you have a full menu.
We have a big menu. You know, our workers have been really good to us. We're fortunate that they've been with us for most of them for years. And it takes them a while to train because there's a lot on our menu. We don't pre-cook anything, so you know, it's cooked. You know, whenever you order it, it's cooked then. And but you have to. It takes them a while to be able to adjust to having 10 things on at a time, and you know, you have 2 or 3 things on one table, but you not only that, you have all your to-go orders and you know, all the rest of the tables, and you're trying to cook sometimes 20, 30 things at one time to try to get it all out. It's a task, you know.
And I'm not sure how you do it, but your consistency is spot on. Look, I've been eating here since '97. Like I said, I'm guessing it might have been '98, but it was '97, '98, somewhere in that time frame. And every time I come, I get the same. If I order a hamburger, I get the same hamburger. I get the same, and I don't mean that I order the same hamburger. I mean I get the same hamburger and the same onion rings that I got in 1997. I still get
the same thing
today. The same,
you know,
and that's important.
That's very important to most people, because I'm a firm believer that most people are creatures of habit of food. They really are. And you have some people who order mostly the same thing every time they come in, because they know that's what, you know. And probably the hardest thing in the restaurant business is consistency, because you want it to taste the same every time they come in. That's why I actually don't let my workers make anything. I make all the gumbo, chowder, chilies, stuffed crabs, stuffed shrimp. I make everything myself to where they'll finish it and finish cooking it, but they don't actually make it to where it tastes the same every time you come in. And you get 2 or 3 different people making stuff, well, 2 or 3 people are going to cook it different a little bit, you know, and or you know they might not put something in it that's supposed to be in it, or you know, and it'll change the taste of your food, and that's what we try to work on the most, is try to get our food to taste the same, consistent. When they come in, they know what they're getting, you know.
You've done a good job with that, and that really is important to people, like, and that's why your business is as solid as it is. It's you're a staple here in Kaplan, and I appreciate all you do.
Well, we thank the town. The people have supported us very well, and you know, they have good people in Kaplan, and you know, they're like, oh yeah, but you know, you wanted a place, you know, people have to eat. Yeah, people have to eat, but they don't have to eat at your place.
That's right.
You know, you have to make sure you have your stuff right, and you try to treat people fairly, and you know, reasonable prices. And
your staff, your girls are always well trained. I know you, like every other business, you have a turnover of some of your employees, but Kim has been with you for a long time.
Kim's been with us, I want to say 18 years in the front.
She's the backbone of that front.
Yeah, you know, she takes good care of us, you know.
Yeah, she does.
Fortunate to have her, you know.
Yeah. So, what would you like to know, for people to know about Mickey's?
You know, we try our best. We do everything we can. You know, you can't always please everybody every time, but for most, we've been fortunate over the years, and to say that there's very few restaurants that'll survive over 50 years of being in business, you know, and so hopefully we're doing stuff right, and if we wouldn't, I don't think we'd be in business anymore. You know,
the only thing I'm going to challenge everybody for is when you come to Mickey's, if you order a salad, they have a good salad, by the way, but if you order a salad, I want y'all to request the blue cheese dressing. It's delicious.
It's the only dressing we don't have. That's why Mr. Mike's saying that.
But no, look, I appreciate your time.
Hey, thank you, Mr. Mike. I appreciate it. We've been having the same Cajun burger since 19. You know, Daddy actually made the sauce off the Cajun burger. You know, Mom was the cook, but Daddy would always kind of mix stuff together, and that's how it came about. You know, our stuff like that, and everybody kind of wants to know what it is, but
it's a Frith.
That's another reason why I don't let anybody make anything.
No, you can't.
You have to.
It'd be out there.
You have to do it yourself.
It'd be out there.
Yeah. Everybody would know how to do it themselves.
That's right. That's right. So, no, that's good. It'd be out there. Well, look, man, I appreciate it. I think that's gonna be a good video.
You know,
a lot of people probably forgot about it. They knew about it, but they forgot about it.
I remember. And you know, like, we get people who come through, like fishing and stuff from Eunice, and they're like, man, Mickey's, like, back in the 60s, were y'all in for it? We're like, yeah. They're like, man, we would stop. They like, it tastes the same as, said, yeah, we moved, you know, Forked Island actually, you know, after it kind of got, probably about 3 or 4 years after we left, it started slowing down because the bridge was built, a different thing, and people moving out, and, you know, but overall, it was
a good place to be at that time.
It was crazy busy. When I tell you, the place just stayed full, and then like, in the backside, I mean, back in the day, everything was a drive-in. Well, we had pool tables, pinball machines, foosball tables,
big place.
And a restaurant. Yeah, they had a whole big game room. We had 2 pool tables in it, and 2 pinball machines, and foosball tables, and jukeboxes, and so it was really interesting.
It was different.
It was different. It was very nice, you know.
Now, after you left the old Donut Queen. Is that when Charlie Vanson opened?
Charlie opened up Vanson's back then. His daddy was the original owner of Vanson's Drive-In.
Okay.
So he came in, and then.
So that was his building.
That was their building.
Okay.
That was their building.
Okay.
Whenever we came to town, we actually rented from Mr. Vanson.
Okay, so Charlie's daddy was the
original owner of the establishment there.
That's
yes, indeed.
Cool.
We bought the building. We rented over there, and we bought the building.
Not knowing if it was too far for people to drive.
Not knowing if it was too far out of town that people would come and eat, you know, too far to drive, you know, 10 blocks.
Yeah, that's funny.
Funny story, you know.
Yeah.
We're like, man.
What is it? 4 or 5 blocks from Main Street?
It is.
Yeah, you could throw a rock there on me.
It is.
That's funny. The consensus was a big thumbs up from everyone. Whether you're ordering the seafood salad, a hamburger and freshly battered onion rings, or French fries, or one of the many platters that Mickey's has to offer, you'll know that Mickey's has a diverse and delicious menu, with the food being prepared when you order it so that it is at its freshest. Clint is usually around the restaurant to give you a warm welcome, check on the food, check on the service, as well as offer up a fishing story or two if you've got the time to listen. For my meal at Mickey's, I ordered the shrimp, corn, and crab chowder. It was delicious. I also had a side of onion rings and a couple of chili dogs. Now rest assured that I did not eat all of this at one time. I did taste the chili dogs and I ate an onion ring. The rest I took home for lunch for my bride. But I did eat all of the shrimp, corn, and crab chowder, and let me assure you, it was absolutely delicious. I'm sorry that the audio of that part of the video did not turn out, but it was delicious. Thanks for watching this video of Kaplan Eats, and we'll see you next time. Come on down to Mickey's and get you some good food. Bye-bye.